All right, man. Back at it. Collab part 2. Today we are looking at TTK's VODs, dude. I did a log breakdown on these kills a couple days ago, and they are running a truly disgusting stack. They reached out, actually, and I was able to get a hold of the VOD from all of their top kills. And now I got Gandii here with me, and we are going to go over them together. Gandii, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me, and I'm excited to get in here and look at these kills and hopefully give you guys some insight as to what they're doing over there at TTK and hopefully gather some things and get after it tonight as well.
And for those who don't know, because I didn't know this because I don't pay attention to stuff, TTK is formerly Dream. I don't know if you knew that, Gandhi. This is Dream from SOD and into TBC. They renamed to TTK after last phase because they won the time to kill parsing category.
Oh, you got the lore unlocked.
Yeah,
Nice,
dude.
dude.
Well, the reason I got the lore unlocked is because Bay was like, yeah, Dream doesn't really like me. And I was like, what does Dream have to do with this? And he's like, oh, no, that's TTK. They renamed. Apparently,
That's great.
they spent all of the last phase griefing each other at world bosses. I remember we did we did a little bit of griefing, a little bit.
A little bit here and there.
They seem like good guys. They all reached out. I've watched a few of their streams since then. Honestly, the vibes are immaculate. It's exactly like ours. Just that right level of toxic. All right, let's jump right in. We're just going to go in boss kill order, and they are starting with Hydross. Actually, I think technically they started with Lurker on this raid, but I don't care. We start with Hydross, so now we're starting with Hydross. As you can see, he's got the Annie on weak aura right in the middle of his screen. That is the first thing I think everyone should know about these high-end guilds. Every single warrior, every single enhanced shaman is rocking an Annihilator to start the fight to get that 3-stack up. And yeah, it makes a ridiculous difference. I know that Bay was having issues with like seeing variance in damage the last couple of weeks, especially on Hydross. And what it turned out was that Crepe was just not getting lucky on his Annihilator stacks.
Yeah, so in the raid, they're actually using, I believe it's 9 Annihilators in their raid. So they have 500 shamans, and then is it 4 warriors? No, 3 warriors. So they're using
4
8.
warriors. Oh, yeah,
Is
yeah,
it
yeah. But
4?
one's in arms, and he's not got it on.
Well, I was gonna tell you, he's playing Kebab, so he actually does have one on.
Ah, gross.
Um, and on the topic, Easy Baked is Kebab. He's also running Imp Demo, meaning that other. I noticed this while watching through this VOD that their Fury Warriors not only have dual specs, but they're running a Booming Voice spec and then an Unbridled Wrath spec
Yeah.
for fights like Solarian and Hydross, where there's no use to having Booming Voice,
Yeah, I mean,
which is just
it nets
yeah.
you like 1 to 5 DPS. And on a really, really short
hmm
fight, it's definitely closer to the 1 DPS side of things. I just don't respect it, dude. I don't care about that talent at all. It's not moving the needle. It's like I get it. DPS is DPS, but like I don't know. I would just rather because I mean you're not running 4 warriors usually. Usually somebody needs to have the imp demo. Everyone should just have that as their secondary spec so that you can
Yep.
swap like which fights people are doing it on if people need parses for different things. But like on a crazy stack like this, I get it. I understand that it is technically a DPS increase, but it's just so minimal that I do not care. I would rather have booming voice and not have to think about battle shout. I can battle shout
hmm
early as I want and get my trinkets prepped and ready and just be good to go on these fights. Yeah,
For sure.
let's take a look at this. I think you mentioned it. The first thing to notice that's different from our kill to this is they do not boot in. They don't boot in on almost any fight, I don't think. They walk in and it looks pretty jumbled. They get into their stacks pretty good. You can see right there though, like where that MD shout box just went. Like that guy's going to he's gonna spread that bubble if they get hit in that position. And like I know that we're talking about going to this 4-stack, but like no noggin fogger and not really great pixel stacking here. Not ideal.
Yeah, so that just surprised me that they didn't have Noggin Fogger popped.
Yeah. So there's the another shout right there, Annihilator 3-stack applied. So they have a weak aura tracking the Annihilator stacks, and the second that happens, their raid leader is calling for everyone to swap off their Annihilators to their primary weapons. And they also have to redrop Wind Fury to get Wind Fury onto their new weapon. So you can see at his buffs up in the top right, he has his primary weapon back on. This guy runs the BS chest with 2 PvP weps. And they've gotten Wind Fury down immediately, so they are good to go. And there's exactly what we were talking about. That's a lot of tombs, dude.
So that's about 14 melee right there.
No, it's not 14 melee. Come on, dude.
Is it not?
It's 7, dude. It's 7 because it doesn't chain. It is an AOE. So anyone who was close enough to the original person who got hit will also get hit, but it does not chain like a chain cleave through the entire grouping. So you can see their right stack has 2 guys, the mid stack has 4 guys, and the left stack has 1, I think. So it's bad, but it, at least it didn't get everybody.
Yeah.
But still, to have that many tombs and still this is the #1 world kill, it just shows you how strong this stack and this the Annihilator stuff is. Like, it's broken. I think they get it corrected though.
Well, they do, and then Dark on their diamond stack is also, or on their moon stack is just moving around a bunch.
Oh yeah, I see him right there off the edge of the pet.
He's gonna chain here in a sec as well. Yeah.
Oh no, see, there you go.
This is fine.
That's fine. That's a single stack. It's still a lot of guys, but it is what it is. That's what you're gonna have when you're stacking this many. Right there. No, see that it worked, dude. That's only one group getting it. 5 guys all in one spot. It sure looked like it would have spread, but he must have gotten tucked in enough to not have it. But yeah, it's just bonkers. Like, look at that damage, dude. Oh man, that's crazy. And it ends up being what was it? Like a 51-second kill on Hydross?
Yeah. A minute.
That's just
crazy.
It's just gross. But I mean, like, when it comes down to it, there's not a lot to unpack here. They wiped, I think, 3 times on this trying to get this done, and that's just because the tank died on like the rip. They're down to 2 healers on this, 1 healer.
I believe they had a Dream State.
Yeah, I think they had the Dream State running. Yeah, so Priest and Dream State. Yeah. I'd have to double check that to be absolutely certain. I know that they're like it's Boomkin or it's a Dream State, but I'm not positive on that. I can't remember from the logs.
And if you're not aware as well, they're running 5 enhanced shamans, 1 rogue for IEA, triple rep pally, and then how many hunters do they have? 7?
Yeah, they're running 7 hunters.
7 BMs, 1 survival.
Yeah,
if I'm counting that right.
Yeah, 7 BMs, 1 survival, and they single healed this. This one is the one where they had him in must have been Boomkin form, or he was doing feral stuff, but he was not healing.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy stuff. We're doing it tonight, man. All right, on to Lurker. You can see they've got Annihilators on again to start this. They get lucky, man. They get this fish up in like 3 seconds. They're not just bleeding rage. And I think right there, that's the biggest difference that I think people should be aware of. It's dangerous, but they have all of their warriors tuck in deep into the water. What it's going to do is so that when you have a whirl, obviously you're not getting knocked out of range, but then when you have a geyser, you're also not getting knocked out of melee range. By being that far in, you never lose your auto attack distance, so you're not having to intercept back in, your rogues aren't disconnecting. Like it's a really serious increase in DPS by just being able to always stay connected.
Yeah, and we'll see the hunters as well get knocked back here. They just weren't tucked in enough.
So I think they're okay with that. In this situation, they've got their hunters spread pretty good across the area. I think they want them at their melee weave range because, like, obviously that's how far back you have to be. That distance that they're at, that's where the edge is of melee range, so they need to be there in order to weave. And so you just have to accept that if they take a geyser, they're going to get knocked out and have to come back in. And the nice thing about being at that weave distance is as long as you know that a whirl is coming and you don't weave directly into a whirl, you'll never get hit by a whirl either because you're in range distance technically.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll see right here comes the whirl. He does not get knocked back, straight into a spout, and he never loses uptime. It's just awesome. That's just awesome tech. And like I said, you're taking boiling water damage the whole time, so it's definitely more pressure on your healers. But, you know, you're running Healing Stream Totems, you're running Blessing of Light, or I'm sorry, Judgment of Light. And those two things combined, they do actually do a lot. And when you're running these melee stacks, they do a lot.
And he did pre-Nightmare Seed that as well, the first initial whirl.
Yes, yeah. So that's one of the things. We don't have the comms running right now, but Atos is he's a robot when it comes to raid leading. He's calling the Nightmare Seeds for everybody. He's calling Wind to Death Wish, Wind to Recklessness, all of those things. So like he's got his hand on the button. He is making sure everybody's doing their things correctly. So they've got it at 23% before the spout even begins. They run the circle. You know, a few of their guys dip instead of going out and in, but they run the circle so that they don't get parried, get back to the spot, and the thing dies before it even finishes spout. Just an absurd kill. Yeah, I don't think there is a lot to unpack on a lurker like that. It's just, you know, the tucking in is the biggest thing. I think that's not something that a lot of people are doing, is just accepting all of that boiling water damage. And especially when they're 2 healing this. And our priest did the math on it, and it was like 2.5k DPS, damage taken per second, just from the boiling water. And they're healing this with a Holy Priest and a Dream State. That's how you gotta do it, man. If you want to have the top kill time in the world, you need to drop as many healers as you physically can.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I want to note though here is the way like you previously said, how spaced out they are. Like they have their hunters evenly spaced out. They have their warlock out in Africa. All that is to try and minimize damage as well.
Oh yeah, minimize damage and you know
reduce
what
knockbacks.
Yeah, exactly. What Trib and Code Hunt over there found out is they were too close together and one geyser got both of them. Mm-hmm. So it's those little things, man. They could have had another second off the kill if they hadn't had those guys so close together.
And Are they running, I can't see if it's threat meter, are they running 4 melee stacks here for 4 groups, or are they running 3 and just double stacking one of the groups?
Looks like 3. Off the right side, I think that is not Armza. Who's that? No, they've got 3.
You have two fire Ellies that are right on top of each other. They're on the left side.
Yeah, to the left side, I think they have 2 guys stacked there. They might be using the 0 knockback spot on the left there. I didn't actually watch on the... let's watch a whirl here. There's a spot on the left side there where BSL is standing, where if you take a whirl, you don't actually get knocked back. But no, they tuck in anyway, so they're not using that spot. Yeah, you see guys get knocked there. Even some of their guys disconnected from the boss too. Like they had room to improve, which is just crazy when you have the #1 kill in the world and there's still room to get better. All right, let's jump into their Leo. I think first thing that you're going to see here is how close they are to these spellbinders. They're using Mind Soothe to get in even closer on these because, again, they do not boot in. I don't know why they don't like the boot in tech, but they do whatever they can to get as close as they can without having to boot.
I like that more than the boot tech. If the boots get stuck on, then I lose my meta gem because it's one of the only 2 places to put a blue gem for DPS increase.
So they blow through that, and when it comes to Leo parse kills, they're pretty much they're fishing for the RNG. It's a lot like Gruul was in the first phase, where they're holding their lust until they know that this thing has gone long enough that they're only going to get 1 whirlwind. So if we had comms on, you could hear Atos being like, okay, we're going to send it. And so you'll see Lust coming here in just a second. They lust
Notice-
into the whirlwind.
They lust at 65%. Okay.
So the reasoning there is that they're lusting into the whirlwind. They run 3 healers on this. It is a Resto Shaman, a Holy Priest, and their Dream State. They're running the lust at this point because they need to have those healers casting as fast as they can. Especially, I would say, the Dream State. All he is doing is he's just going down the rows, hitting people with regrowths. Just dumping those things into every single person to, I mean, that's the best kind of AoE healing he can really provide in this situation. And like, when I looked at the logs, his numbers are insane. I mean, Shunsui is an absolute animal. Like, I'm sure you've run into Shunsui in PvP too, Gandhi.
Yeah, it's a lot of the credit goes to the hunters and the DPS, right? When you're looking at comps like this, a lot of the real work is going towards the healers, man. Like they're Cardi on the priest and Shinsui on the druid are like carrying a lot of their kills.
Cardi did 3.2k healing per second on that fight.
Yep. I'm sorry, it's not Shunsui, it's Shensi. Shensi. I do not want to get your name wrong. You are an absolute animal.
86% of Cardi's healing is just healing the whirlwind.
Yeah, I mean, that's everything in this fight. You'll see here, they do so much damage, they actually call for a DPS lax because you can push it too fast and get the RP. So they're in lust, they're cranking everything out right now. There goes Death Wish. They're calling for Health Stone, Stay Alive.
Yeah, Judgment of Light does a lot of work there.
Yep, Judgment of Light. They're running Healing Stream totems in every single group. So right here, they start calling to slow the damage, slow the damage. They get the shift, and they're good. If you push it past 15% before it becomes a demon, that's where you get the RP lock. But they do so much damage here that they don't even get the demon out until that last moment, which means the demon does not despawn on the kill, and they have to run away.
Fill my back in like 20 seconds as well. Yeah, so stop right here, right here, right here. You can see star. Okay, so one thing I wanted to point out here is their tank positioning, right? This is keeping melee in range of all the healers. You'll see the healers stacked on the bottom right side of the screen. So all the melee are in range of the chain heals. And look how tightly stacked they are as well. You see the tank marked star. You won't see the triangle from ATOS, but the melee are pixel stacked on the boss's back, just trying to mine parry hasting. And like I said, the tank is marked star at the top of the screen. But those chain heals you'll see going off on the star actually hitting melee as well.
Yeah, and I mean, that's how you have to do it when you are, 3 healing this. Your Dream State is obviously rolling HOTS on your main tank, but that chain heal off of the main tank is doing a lot of work there because the priest is not looking at the tank. He is mashing Circle of Healing, and that is it. As long as those dots are rolling on people, it's a lot of damage, especially in this stack where you've got 8 extra hunters, or 8 total hunters, so you've got 8 extra bodies in the form of pets that all need to get healed. And I haven't looked at this, but I would venture to guess that the hunters probably rolled a men pet on their pet also, just to help as much.
They are doing like a 12k healing on the pet with the second 2.25. One hunter used men pet. It did 470 healing.
I forgot about that set bonus.
It's the 2 pieces keeping your pet alive with
Judgment and totem.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm seeing the healing done by the hunter, so I'm not seeing their totem like the healing, but yeah, they're all doing 10 to 12k healing with health link.
And I now realize that we've gotten through an entire log and I haven't introduced this other person. Hey, this is my minion. He is one of the top hunters from our guild. And damn, we did not pick a better person to just show up randomly than on a week where we are reviewing a hunter stack. That is not something I would have known to look for. Thanks, minion. All right, let's go look at the real tech. This is insane. I mean, honestly, they get this thing down. It's a 20-second FLK kill. They're using reset tech to get in there, and yeah, 20 seconds is just otherworldly. I know they're going full single target, so there are some things that are different here. Let's watch the pull in. Hunter pulls it, boots out. He's got a summon waiting for him. They've got this thing down to science, so they know the second that despawns, they start the 18-second timer, and the thing is going to spawn about 1 second after that timer ends. So they're getting in, they're pre-dropping their fellies. They actually lust right there at 8 seconds. They're going to Death Wish right now. And the second this boss...
healing this with Cardi.
They are one healing this with Cardi. They are two tanking this in air quotes because on the right side, their Bonk, their prop paladin, is going to get aggro on Charybdis, Tidal Vest, and Sharkus. And he is going to boot out to Narnia. So the second he has all three of those things on him and he feels comfortable, he is out.
He walks in, drops Sapper Conk, and then
that's right. Conk Sapper, and then he's gone. And he just boots. Just see, they're all running. Boss is already at 65%, and he's in the corner. There's no Annihilators on this. This is a pure kill. You're not going to have enough time to get Annihilator stacks up, so they are just sending it.
Did they boot in as a group?
No, they just walk in because they reset.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And Gandhi, you're not going to like this part, but their secondary trinket on this fight, Fetish. Yep.
Yeah, they're rocking Fetish, badge, no DST on their warriors. And I'd like to note from an arms POV as well, Easy Baked running Kebab could be in favor in this fight, honestly, just due to the fact that Rec is 21 seconds being Kebab, and the fight was 20 seconds, right? So he's pre-popping Rec and just full sending, full single target rotation.
Holy shit, I forgot that the Kebab spec gets the longer recklessness.
Yep, so he has 100% crit on this boss.
Oh my god.
Literally 100% crit on this boss being Kebab.
His melees only crit 65% of the time.
I mean, Minion, did you see the number that...
That's because it's missed on his offhand.
Did you see the number that Melee put up on this fight?
Yeah, I'm looking at the log.
5.7k, right?
Oh, you're talking about actual Melee. Yeah. I was looking at the BSL and Chaz over here at 6.8. I'm like, that's no wonder you need Fetish. You're doing that much. That's crazy.
Hey, man. Yeah, 6.8 single target is disgusting work.
Your Pharaoh's only doing 1,300. His modifiers are fucking doing a hell of work to keep him up with you guys.
In the words of one of their hunters who reached out to me with a lot of these, where I could find these VODs, if XNM says that he can hold aggro, we don't think twice about it. So I would venture to guess that XNM said, hey, for this one, you need Fetish.
He just doesn't. I mean, he doesn't have the globals in 20 seconds.
So you can see a Spore Bat makes it back in there.
You maul, you mangle, and then you're sitting there. Like,
I mean, you have 4 warriors pre-casting Death Wish badge.
Yeah.
Like, you literally, they're not even like, they give them 1 Sunder and they're just full sending.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the beauty of running that many warriors, right? 1 Sunder and right into your damage rotation. But yeah, they have
nice is you're able they're pre like if they're like I'm looking at the Melee's log, he gets a pre-trap in at 0.0 and then drops his second trap at 1 second. So he's getting the double explosive.
So he dropped the trap as they ran in, so that way the cooldown would be up by the time the thing goes again, right?
Double trap on like 700, so it's a lot of damage.
There's your tech for tonight, Minion. But yeah, I mean, even with that, you got 4 guys dead at the end. XNM main tank dies because you're 1 healing. So basically, if he takes 2 hits, he's dead. You got 3 DPS dead, but still 20-second kill.
As far from the tank POV, he did precast Spark's Skin as well, I believe, looking at logs.
With how fast the fight is, there's no reason not to precast it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to need all your globals for threat, so precast it, why not, right?
And as soon as that Barkskin's over, he got an insta-pain sub to carry them over the line.
Okay.
Because when you're zerking Fathom, you're really just trying to get it down to like 10-15%, and then you can just finish it off with whoever's up, right?
Yeah, as long as the ads don't come back, you know? That's the thing that, like, if you take too long with this strategy, because your prop paladin is just in a corner holding things until he dies, essentially. If you don't kill it fast enough, those are coming back, and even if you get it low, you might still wipe if they throw a tornado into the middle of your group, you're not killing the boss while you're all in the air.
I'm looking at X and M's buffs for that pull. It looks like he pre-popped Abacus as well as Haste Potion, because he's going in with 660 haste from consumables.
Good
Like the 400 for Haste
Lord.
Potion, and then the haste proc of 260 for the first 10 seconds of the fight. And so yeah, the 9 seconds of the fight, 10-second buff. I think that's a pre-popped Abacus to help keep
Interesting.
threat.
He also had a pre-Lay on Hands, pre-Iron Shield as well.
Yep.
And then
I
a
don't
haste potted as well.
see. I see. It looks like a fire pot rolling on Atos.
Yeah.
So they probably pre-popped the fire for the whole raid just to mitigate the Seer Nova. Yeah.
I mean, if the fight's that fast, then you just ignore the Spitfire, right?
They don't get a Spitfire.
Yeah. Well,
It's that fast. You don't get a Spitfire.
I mean, even if you had a Spitfire pop up there, they're like 15%. They kill it so fast.
Yeah, I think you probably just kill. You probably just kill the boss and don't worry about it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they had fire protection on like X and M, so yeah, they did the full pre-pop of that.
And we'll see that again later in their Solarian. They actually pre-pop arcane protections, so I've got a bunch of those stacked up on my hunter ready to go. But yeah, can't spend too long on a 20-second kill. Let's get into a longer one. This is their Morogrim. They reset pull with their rogue. They MD the rogue and then have the rogue run out. He's going to come back in here in just a second. If you see, actually, let's reveal a little bit of their tech. You see on the right side there, that dig rat sitting next to the Wrath of Air totem? And they've got the Thornlings back there. Their idea with the Thornlings is that they could absorb some of the globules at the end, the bubbles that come and freeze you. I don't think that they ever get targeted, so I don't know that it worked. Even their raid leader basically said, like, these Thornlings are just cope. I don't think they even know if they work, but they do it anyway, because why not? And then on the right side there, that dig rat is for the rogue. When he takes his summon, he's doing something that I hadn't seen before. He is vanishing or getting into stealth, and then using cheap shot with a stop attack macro on the dig rat, so he can start the fight with a 2 combo slice and dice already running.
Are you looking at? Is this the VOD for their August 11th?
Yeah, this one was from 2 nights ago. Rolling MDs into the main tank there. Annihilator stacks X3 at 9.5 seconds, which means they are now swapped to their primary weapons. I mean, the nice thing about fighting it down here is what we've talked about. Your Holy Priest doesn't need to move. They can sit right there. Is that a light well?
No.
Bruh.
No.
Bruh. Bruh. That's a light well, homie. I'm going to the logs.
There is no healing from light well done on that fight.
Why is there a light well on the ground?
I'm just... You got circle healing, flash heal, prayer mending, powered shield, renew, binding heal, shadow fiend, flashlight. That's on his healing done. On his casts,
it's not. It doesn't. It doesn't show there, right? You have to go to the overall.
Healing done by ability.
No, I don't see one.
I don't see it, bro.
That I'm not going crazy though. That is a light well right there. He must have just thrown it down as a meme or something.
Would he even have it in that spec?
I don't know, but that's a fucking light well. So this is the first thing that I think that needs to be noted if you're trying the one tank strat, is that as these get close, they are bopping Cardi and they are bopping Shensi. And they are holding all of their sappers until this moment. So when these come in, the 2 healers have to get bopped or they will die. And the second these connect, sappers. There go the sappers, all the lurkers die, move on with your life. There goes Lust. And it's just a standard kill, man. Like, you'll see they do a little bit of shifting around away from the water globules if they're coming towards them. But other than that, it's tank and spank, man. Get lucky with your tank dodging. The only thing to note here, I was watching this kill live on their stream, and Atos actually calls for the priest to focus on dispelling. Because they've got the boss low enough, they know that they're gonna kill it. They don't want guys sitting in that 8-second tomb. So the priest is actually
Atos one time.
Yep, Atos is the only one who gets the actual tomb or the whatever it is frozen while the boss is still alive. So there's another one right there, but it wouldn't show on logs because it gets dispelled after the fight ends. Anything you saw in there, Gandhi, that's out of normal, other than the stuff we talked about?
No, I'm a little surprised that they didn't take it up the ramp. Obviously for the globule reason, but even just a little bit more like...
All of their hunters are macro users. If you start pulling them, then it fucks with the weave. They're going to lose downtime. It'd be easier if they just fucking face tank it and die.
Yeah.
Like all of their hunters. I mean, they'll walk up and get like another raptor or something like that. But being like the max weave, you have to reset your range, and it's if you're just gonna keep walking it backwards, like that just sucks.
Yeah, I had essentially the same thought when I did the log dive on this one. I was like, okay, if you're going to move it a little bit up that ramp right there, why don't you just take it further up the ramp and then not have to worry about the globules in the end? And I think that it just comes down to they're running 2 healers and they cannot afford to have their priest needing to move at all. The priest needs to be able to stand right where he is and just turret heal everyone that goes into the watery graves while keeping the tank there. Yeah. So that's another reason why I kind of like our positioning better, but I know that the instant uptime is worth.
One thing that I'm looking at Crazy's casts here, dude is snowballing for every single circle healing he's doing.
Yeah. That's Cardi, right?
He's going through so much mana that he cast like 50 snowballs on Morogrim.
All right. This is their Alar. You can see they've got good rage going into this. They actually held that last Phoenix Hawk until they were basically ready to pull. And then they kill the Phoenix Hawk for rage before they pull, instead of doing a rage log out or anything like that. The primary difference I see on this compared to what we do is they are death wishing as the boss lands. So basically, the global before the boss is hittable, they are hitting their death wish, just so that, because you know that you're not going to get the full uptime when it moves anyway. So they'd rather not waste the global and have the death wish running. You can see death wish right now. Yep, Lust as it lands. Everything's rolling. Again, no Annihilator on this one. They are running just standard weapons here for maximum damage immediately because they're already in their Lust window and cooldown window. They don't want people using Annihilators during that. And see where the tank is? This is a 1-tank fight. That boss just left, and their tank is the furthest away from the next platform, which is something we need to drill into our tanks, that it is okay to not leave early. You need to stay there the entire time and then catch up. And the reason it's okay is because as long as you don't get in too fast, the boss will do that. Flame Buffet casts, it's going to go off. That's fine. A single Flame Buffet will not kill you. And as long as it is casting, it will not slap the shit out of whatever warrior gets there first. So then the bear charges in, taunts, and has the boss. Definitely a little bit dangerous, but, you know, we're going to do it a little different. We have 2 ferals, so our cat will be behind the boss, and he'll be able to connect at about the same time the warriors do. So there won't be that delay, but you got to have your Feral staying with you doing damage until it shifts to the next platform. And they're down, so they don't get exploded. There's the second thing. That Ember of Alar was chasing them up. Their entire raid team starts on the upper platform, including their healers, because as Cardinal is healing, it's going to just passively get the threat on that Ember, and the Ember will run up to them. Before it connects with the priest jumps down, and now the Ember comes back down. The main tank will walk over and get a taunt on this thing and start building as much threat as it can. The warriors and the rets do damage down to about 60% and then stop. The reasoning why nobody other than warriors and rets hit it, I mean, your rogue could probably do it too, but he's probably holding combo points, right? So he wouldn't want to do it. The reason only they do it is because now you're going to have your hunters finish it using only multi-shot. And you want them to not have any threat on that target until those multi-shots hit later. Because you don't want your main tank having to worry about keeping threat on it. He can just pump into Alar, and his threat that he built up during this period is enough to hold off the multi-shot. And if you get it too low and you're using too many hunters, then you could theoretically kill that Ember too early. It needs to be killed when Alar is in the air phase. Sorry, what were you going to say, Gandhi?
No, I was just saying the nature of what you're going on to. Like, you'll see in this first one that the tank grab picks it up, but for the second wave of Embers, he's actually getting MDs, and hopefully we have a science for that as well tonight. That way he can just focus on the tank, or tanking the Alar, but more so to a more like detailed scale. Like, not only are they not hitting the Ember, but they're still DPSing Alar until he goes immune to all damage, until he goes non-hittable.
Absolutely.
And then they swap.
Yep, you can see they are all still targeting Alar right now. The tank is getting the Ember positioned while they're still fighting that. And the second it goes unhittable right there, you're going to see the tank is going to hit this with a bash and move away. There's the bash. He moves away. The hunters finish that, so it explodes not on everybody. The two Embers just came out. The MD is already rolling onto XNM. So you can see the hunter shooting them. Boom, they go straight for XNM. He goes into his swipe rotation to make sure he gets threat, which at this point their gear is strong enough that they should be using their swipe rotation anyway. This is the second piece of tech that they're running that nobody else is doing yet, or at least not that I've seen consistently. You can see just under Alar's face right there, that is a bop. That bop is on a masterwork target dummy. So what they're doing is the second melt armor is available, they're throwing a masterwork target dummy, and the paladin has a macro that he is mashing. So the second that thing becomes active, it's getting a bop on it, and it will hold the boss for the full 10 seconds of bop and then die. When they see that it has not gone out yet, they call for a second dummy, and the second dummy has to have a different name. So it is a masterwork target dummy into an advanced target dummy right here. They throw it behind the boss, which is definitely not ideal, but it's where the DPS was. They're hoping that it hits the first one and they don't have to do this. And the second paladin has another macro. His targets the advanced target dummy and bops it so that it holds. Here comes the melt armor into the target dummy, and now it's back on the main tank.
And this is the tech we saw in AQ with Artura.
Yep.
A lot of guilds are using as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, that is clean. That is a clean way to handle a mechanic that otherwise requires two tanks. And I know that we will have the two tanks, so there's a decent shot that we just run the secondary Feral, taunting it. But, I mean, heck, if you've got two guys who can drop a target dummy and two guys who can press a bop macro, that's nice. That is nice. And again, they just ignore the second set of Embers completely.
Can you back like 10 seconds?
Yeah.
And this was another Nightmare Seed as well.
Yeah, they do.
The majority of fights, if not every fight, they're Nightmare Seeding.
When you're running this few healers, I think that they're just erring on the side of caution. You know, there's
100%.
And like, you have this many melee, so you know that you're going to be taking those flame circles, whatever they're called, and you're spreading out as much as you can, but there's only so much room that you can spread out. So multiple people are going to be affected by that. You don't want your 1 to 2 healers needing to worry about oh man, this guy's gonna die. Give them the cushion so they can get you up when they get you up, and not like it's an immediate need over the tank.
For sure. And like you said, when you're running 1 or 2 healers in every fight, Nightmare Seeds are so valuable. And I will die on this hill, bro. Till the day I die. Flame Caps are so psyop, in my opinion. They are so psyop, bro.
They do like no damage, man.
Hey, as Fury, dude, they do a good amount of damage, man.
I don't know. At least on the Hunter, I can't.
Oh yeah, Hunter, yeah. Fury and Rogue, you're attacking so fast. I get it, man. It is tangible damage. It is tangible. Okay, so this is the kill from last night. We are actually going to use this instead of the VOD that we had, because they posted an even better kill, an even more degenerate kill than what they did previously. You can see on the left here, instead of, oh my gosh, look at how many warriors they brought in. Oh my god.
They brought 7 warriors, and I think they brought 8 hunters.
7 warriors. They are, oh my god, 2 rets. So they are not running salve. This is something that we had talked about, of like, if you're not going to,
you don't need salve.
Yeah, you don't need salve. You don't, like, that's just crazy. XNM stays in, so they get the feral for BSL and melee and cyanide. Yeah, and what's the thing that's missing, Gandhi?
Wait, hold on.
What'd they drop from their raid that most people use when they kill bosses?
Priest.
They got no healer, man.
Yeah. No healer, Arcane Pot, Nightmare Seed.
All right,
that's ridiculous.
You take the lead, Gandhi. Walk us through what we're seeing.
Yeah, so they're running no tank on this fight as well, according to the log. You can pause it. I wonder why are they using Thornlings there? What are they trying to soak with
hoping that it's the same cope that they had on Morogrim. They're hoping the arcane missiles go to the Thornlings.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be working.
It does not seem to be working.
They are running the feral.
Yeah, they got the feral for this one, so that means melee, cyanide, BSL, and Volge all get their crit.
Yeah. Okay.
It's significant. I did the numbers on it, and for even on a 30-second FLK, it was like 60 DPS just having that crit for the 10 seconds that you don't have recklessness up.
Yeah, but they are running Nellers as well, and they're putting it up and then insta swapping. Granted, the fight's 30 seconds long. But one thing I wanted to know, though,
that's why they didn't lust off the rip.
They waited for an insta stack.
Yeah.
I mean, they committed an entire raid night to this one boss, so they had the time.
Yeah.
That's the only boss they killed all night.
Yeah.
They just wiped on VR after that, right?
They killed it at, I mean, an hour and 40 minutes after normal raid time starts. So that 0 wipe log is a little sus.
And the crazy thing is, they didn't even beat their personal bests. They beat the time. They beat the time. Don't get it twisted. And for TTK, for TTK, that's the thing that matters. For us, the time is a byproduct of how we play the game. We want to push the personal parses as high as we can, and the more damage you do, the boss kills go faster. For them, they want to kill the boss faster, and when you kill the boss faster, your personal damage goes up.
So they're adding that extra DPS there instead of the healer, which is reducing the time. It's kind of crazy that no one on the top end had a good RNG pull there, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
will note that
yeah.
Easy Baked had a very good kill here. Like, he had very good crit RNG, very good sword proc RNG usage according to logs. But he did, whether it was a fat finger, misclick, whatever, he popped his Bulwark and his haste potion alongside with his brooch.
Oh, off the rip?
So it was too soon. It was about midway through, but he lost about 50% uptime during execute phase, which as Kebab, it's the same with Fury. You're just spamming executes, right? So he still pulled a rank 1 at 4.5k, I believe, which could have been a 4.7 plus, I feel like, if he would have used his 15-second CDs during execute phase.
Yeah. I mean, you can even see on Atos, he's got a second left on all of his cooldowns. And again, they should have... I don't understand the thought process, because they should have known that they were going to get like the full uptime on Lust. I don't understand why you aren't lusting before the boss engages. I think the thought process is, if they did not get a fast enough annihilator, they were going to reset, right? But if you're going to reset anyway, you can keep this boss alive for 30 seconds as you run out and reset your Lust. So why not take the best kill opportunity every single time, which is lusting before the boss engages? Maybe the pets? Maybe they're worried about pet sated not resetting or something, but
They were
I don't
running
know.
0 healers, so that is a concern.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they've dumped more than just 3 hours into this boss. I'm sure they've dumped
Oh my
about
god,
40
yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they know how to the appropriate way to go out about this.
I know, it just doesn't make sense to my head. Like, if you were going for it, then you should have gone for it. And they could have gotten they could have gotten even more out of this. I think they could have put up a ridiculous... This already is ridiculous. They could have put up something that no one would be able to get anywhere near to. But using that global for Lust, 3 seconds in, losing your uptime on your wreck because you used it too late. Like, what could have been? I mean, you and I know this. When you look back at your logs, the what could have beens hurt the most.
Hold on. Let me. What if they did the pre-lust? You didn't really did the logs didn't detect it. Morph dies at 2 seconds. Instant onks.
No.
He
You can watch it. You can watch it on the logs. He calls the Lust.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense anyway because he'd already decided.
Yeah. So you can see.
So are they waiting that first set of arcane missiles to go out? Was it after the arcane missiles went out?
Here, watch.
Because you had someone die to those first arcane.
Lust.
Instant
he just
arcane
called
missiles.
Lust right there. He calls Lust after the boss engages. There's no real timing to it other than that they're waiting for the boss to be in.
Okay.
And they're losing 3% boss uptime. It's not terrible.
It's not terrible, but you're running, you're lusting with the annihilator on anyway. I don't understand why you don't do it beforehand.
Yeah.
I think probably it was meant
your
to.
fight's going to be 35 seconds or less Lust as she's getting to that blue circle.
Yeah. I think that probably what happened more than anything is the shaman didn't click it, and that's why Atos called it audibly, because he doesn't call the Lust usually.
If Morphs was the person who was supposed to hit the Lust and he's sitting there hitting his health stone because he's targeted with the arcane missiles first, because it was as soon as the boss opened, it was on him. If he has a weak aura yelling at him to pop his health stone, that's probably what happened.
Yeah, could have been. Still,
note too, they have 11 annihilators on currently.
Yeah.
11 people with the classic WoW axe on.
How long did it take to get to 3 stacks? Still, there's the swap call.
They got it.
15% health off the boss before they got the annihilator up.
I don't think it's worth it.
I don't think it's worth it, dude.
Because
on a 30-second kill, seconds? I don't think it's worth it.
I think they got the 3 a little faster, didn't they?
6.5 seconds. You can hear when he calls the swap. I don't know if you can hear the audio through this very well. It's not that loud.
No, but I can see his weak aura on the bottom right there.
Yeah.
So nothing. They left
3. No, there's 1, 2, 3.
3 right there.
Yeah.
5%, 6%.
Yeah. So 20% of that boss they're doing with a level 60 weapon on. To me, personal person, I don't think worth it. They shaved 2 seconds off, so it must be worth it, but not for personal DPS. There's a reason why all their warriors didn't get new highs.
The thing, they didn't even have everybody in that one who could use an annihilator use one. There was one of their enhance that went in without an annihilator on. I was looking at that.
Weird.
So if they had 11, they could have had 12.
I think that what it comes down to is they'd been wiping on that boss for almost 2 hours straight, and it's a 30-second fight, and that wears on anyone, even the best guild in the world. All right, so we've got the VR kill last. They have spent so much time before they get to this kill. 24 wipes, I believe, across 2 nights before finally getting the kill on their last raid night of the week. Yeah, it's hard because they have 7 hunters who are all trying to weave, and they're going down to just 2 healers, just the Resto Shaman and the Holy Priest. So I think that some of their wipes come from getting orbs onto the weaving hunters, and I think that a lot of their wipes came from lack of healing. When I was looking at the things, just trying to do it with 2 healers is hard. If you get unlucky with tank damage, tank goes down, and that's just all she wrote. But they use a hunter reset pull here to get the thing out. Pet dies on the pull. That sucks. His personal parse goes way down because of it. But they get him back in, get the pet up, get it buffed as they go in, Annihilator on, and they are cooking. You can see their priest out in Narnia just running circles, throwing snowballs and Circle of Healing. Anytime there's pound, the resto is just cranking chain heals. Yeah, pretty standard stuff as far as the new VR tech goes. Was there anything you saw looking at the logs, Gandhi?
Well, yeah, like you said, they're just trying to maximize the hunter output. Maybe Mini can give some input as to like what the margin of error could be for the hunters here.
It's very small. Like it probably is about 1 yard. If you go out into where you can shoot and you take one more step backwards, like you're getting hit with an orb. I've had 2 weeks ago Talinar John got hit when like their toes were touching my heels. It's just really small.
Look at the bottom of his foot right there. You can see that line of hunters. They are all like perfect pixel stacked in a line at the edge, just weaving in and out. And that's the other thing, is they're all using noggin foggers to make themselves small. If you're not noggin foggering, you cannot weave this fight.
Mm-hmm. I think we all just have to mentally prepare ourselves for tonight and buckle down for this VR.
I
thankfully it's
VR
not tonight.
Is on for Saturday.
Yeah. VR is Saturday, and it is lowest prio. Bay has a number 2 or a number 3 kill on that, and he's not worried about it. So we're going to send it, but it'll be the last thing on the docket. So we'll do the Alars and the Solarian before we get to this stuff.
So I'd like to point out too, we have Atos here. He's playing max range, just kind of pointing out like as far out as you can be as a melee here. And you see it marked as triangle as well.
It's really, really important. It's really, really, really important. You need to be back, because if you are not, then the chain heals cannot bounce from the melee stack out to the hunters, and the hunters will die. So your melee has to be backed up so that they can get out there. I think that they have a couple of guys in tight, with the idea being that if you chain heal off the tank, then it will bounce to that guy and then further into the group. But somebody, more than one person, need to be close enough to the hunters that they can get the chain heal. Otherwise, they're going to die in pounding every single time. But it's, yeah, 1 minute and 23 kill on VR. Just ridiculous personal damage. 3.3s, 3.2s. Yeah, there's not much to say on that. It's, if you get your hunters to melee weave, this boss dies really fast. But I mean, even that, look at their health at the end of the fight, like scraping by because they're dropping so many healers.
Yeah, and you have your Holy Priest pulling like over 3k healing per second.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can get every hunter to weave, the difference is going to be massive. It's still one of my highest ranked kills, and I haven't weaved on it in 2 months. So there just is not a high population of people who haven't been weaving that are.
Well, I think that there's 2 things that go into that. Is that, 1, people don't know that you can do it. And then 2, they don't know how to do it. So between those 2 populations, that's 95% of the hunters in the game.
And on the last topic of healing here as well, like so they're running 1 Arsham. The 4 enhances are all running, like you said, healing stream with their plus healing sets. And then Shensi also pops a Barkskin Trank as well. Granted, he is Boomkin for this kill.
Yeah, I mean, it's just any little bit of healing that you can find without bringing a healer is pretty much the motto that they're going with. The pre-dropping healing stream totem, they're running the Judgment of Light because they're running 3 rets, so you don't have to worry about the threat loss from using light, right? And then, having stuff like Shensi, knowing when to Barkskin and Trank so that Cardi doesn't need to worry about that group it's huge.
And if you could back it up like 20 seconds as well.
Yeah.
Because, he actually calls prior to this to not reapply Annihilator and to actually just Zerk the boss, to just keep main weapons on.
Which is different than a lot of the times. I think it might have been on their Morogrim. There's an audible call where they're pretty early in the fight, and the Annihilator gets under 15 seconds, and they call for everyone to Annihilator back on, and they refresh the stack and then go right back to their primary weapons. Anytime they're doing that again, they're redropping Wind Fury totems on the Annihilator swap and redropping Wind Fury totems on the primary weapon swap.
How low was he when he dropped Annihilator?
He's sub
10%,
15%. They're in recklessness in execute is why he calls to not do it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to lose the GCD and you want to do your damage.
Yep.
It was right here. He called for the enhance to swap his off. He wanted every Annihilator off. Is what he called for on this VOD. And
just
full
get
send
maximum
loss.
value of that last 15 seconds. Yeah.
Yep. And I believe it drops at like 7% or something. It's very minimal, but
it's absolutely worth to not reapply.
They got it up
there.
really fast as well. It was up by 93%.
10%
for 3 stacks.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean when you're running these comps with this many enhance and this many warriors, it goes up a lot faster than what people are expecting, I think. And I mean,
for sure,
these comps are utilizing things that are really cool in my opinion, but there is definitely a reason why anytime you go on the Warcraft Logs Discord, there is somebody complaining about Annihilator. They do not like that people are wearing a classic item to get an advantage. And personally, I think leave it. Don't be the fun police. Let people do whatever degen stuff they want to do. I wish they'd bring back birds. Let me squawk on these things, dude. Like, let's see what kind of insane stuff we're doing.
Gosh.
Like,
dude. Max Weaving Hunters with the fucking 5 squawks would go crazy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And like, this game is not hard. We've gotten these pixels before. We've all gotten this gear before. The dopamine rush from those things should be lower. I know that some people still chase items, and that's why they play the game. But the reason we play the game is to put up the most disgusting numbers that we can, doing whatever we have to do it. And I don't really like that Warcraft Logs polices that. Let degens be degens, you know? Yeah, really, really ridiculous stuff. I don't think I can appropriately describe how excited I am for us to try and run this tonight.
I was talking to Itzo, telling him about, oh yeah, dude, we're going to stack like 8 hunters. He goes, 8? It's like, yeah. It's like, how many shamans? I was like, yeah, 5 enhanced shamans. He's like, what? Why? And I was like, just wait till I say we have 3 rets. He was like, what? It's like, what are y'all doing over there? I'm like, don't even ask, bro. It's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a great time, dude.
It's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be so much fun, dude. I think that there are bosses that are gonna be dumb. I think they're mostly in SSC. Hydross and Leo. It's not fun to stack these things, in my opinion. Like, Leo especially. Hydross, you can just get cucked, dude. Like, yeah.
For sure. And I had a question too. Do you guys think, as we go into BT, we see a little bit of it in this kill, in this VOD, of them swapping in 7 warriors or whatever it was for Solarian? Will we see more of that? Back to like the classic stack going into BT when we get more ARP?
So there's 2 things that are going to go into that. The first and the biggest one is their luck. Do they get a lot of glaives? Because they're running a lot of splits. Do they get lucky on a lot of glaives? If you see a bunch of glaives, then absolutely every single one of those double glaive warriors needs to be in your push comp. And then the second one is, like you said, is what kind of gear do they have and what is possible in BT? So there's BT and Hydroll. It just comes down to how much damage there is. And until we see it and we can feel how far down you can push the number of healers, how dangerous it is for melee to be stacked up, I think those are going to be the determining factors on what you see. But there's going to be fights. And on these push weeks where guys are taking 3 raid nights, 3 hours apiece, and focusing on a single boss for 2 hours of that, like, yeah, there's going to be fights where they bring in 7 warriors because the fight's 40 seconds long, and they know that with recklessness, a now armor penned up warrior is going to out DPS everything other than a max weaving hunter. And even on some fights, they'll beat some.
I mean,
For sure.
a lot of the fights get longer in BT, which doesn't help us out as the hunters with the mana issues. Like, I mean, when you're going for that second potion as a mana potion, and when you're using that second rune, you guys are just going to have more advantage and push out. I think we are stronger on the shorter fights unless you can get that 2.5 minute, or we can get that second BM in. But
I was gonna say Hunter's obviously coming on top in some well, but once they get through it all, but
yeah,
how do
once
they
you
scale
get
next
Thoradol
phase?
and Mists of Pandaria.
Yeah, I am hoping very much that our legendary luck is better than last time around, because that was ugly. No Thoradols, no pair of glaives in main raid, like, gross. Just gross. We need better luck than that. And with how blessed we were on DSTs, I think we've got the comp. We've got all the right GUIDs, right? We got the good drops now. Yeah, I think that was fun, man. That was just, I can't believe that people are running these comps because they're just insane. It's so cool. I'm so happy that
It's
we're
a
doing it
complete
tonight.
flip.
Yeah,
It's a complete flip from last TBC, right? It's
it's a complete
crazy to
flip
see.
from 8 months ago when we had our former guild leader telling us, no, everybody's going to stack mages on every single fight. It's going to be all caster comps. Like, melee is not going to be able to compete. Sorry, buddy. Once again,
Warriors are back.
Warriors are back.
I would still like to see a 22, 23 mage Solarian. Like, that would still go crazy.
Yeah.
In the
I'm
same way High
sure-
King Mulgore was
Yeah.
crazy. Or
I'm
a
surprised
comma
that
can be
nobody
next
sent that
phase,
on the
but-
FLK. Because if you did that on FLK where you're dragging out the secondary target and you just had 22 arcane mages blasting into that thing, you'd have like a 15-second kill. That'd be cool.
I think we might see some of that
Yeah.
in the couple of last weeks, I think. Maybe,
Yeah. I'm hoping that some really crazy stuff keeps coming out. Running
I just feel like
7
there's a lot
warriors is the
easier to do
craziest
in-
thing we've seen so far.
I do feel like that mage stack is easier to do in phase 1, where it's easier to again to get the gear and all those mages be at parity. But I mean, how many mages are you bringing to SSC TK that are then getting geared to then fill out a 22 mage? Like,
1 per split. You're not running 22 splits, so you can't support multiple arcane mages the way that you need to. They're just so mana hungry, and the fights just got longer. I don't know, and they fall off, man. They don't fall off, but they don't scale the way that everything else does. Warlocks are going to absolutely come online in the next phase as haste starts stacking up and they get like Gul'dan running. That's going to be bonkers. But I think that this is fun. We've gone way too long. You can catch me tonight streaming on Twitch at Siax. Gandii, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is Gandii_warrior. And then I'm going to be live as well tonight on Twitch at Gandii_16. I'm also streaming PvP arenas literally every single night until season ends. So you can catch me there. Thanks for having me, Siax. I really appreciate it, brother.
Of course, man. Minion, thank you for dropping in and helping us out with this hunter stack breakdown, because there are a lot of things there that we just don't know about, you silly green people.
yeah, anytime.
All right, guys, we'll catch you later.